Well, well, well. If it isn't the glories of Microsoft Flight Simulator, hi, I'm Racket. Being me, Racket. So, consider this part 0 of the idea of doing some flying stuff across multitudes of games, especially Flight Simulator. I've wanted to do something good with it for a while. Kind of put that off for a good bit, just because various things, especially back whenever there was no HDR YouTube streaming stuff. Then I would have been just recording videos and whatever, and could have done that, but did not. But yeah, I figure that throwing in some HDR streaming now, ever since HDR streaming became available on YouTube, would be a good idea for Flight Simulator. And so this is going to be just a very basic thing. I will go through some flight training and that eventually, and actually try and make myself into someone who can fly in this game somewhat competently. I've got, I would say, above minimal flight experience in games. I've done some stuff now with my flight stick in old ill-used thermific games, and a few other things, and I've flown here and there in Flight Simulator, but I've only landed successfully a few times. 99% of those in the last week or so. So you know, it's I'm getting there. My flight skills are terrible for understanding what to do, when to do it, and why to do it. But I'm getting there with getting a plane up in the air, keeping it in the air, even if somewhat erratic, and then getting it on the ground again. So that is somewhat nice, I suppose. So, I'll either do some VR stuff with this eventually. I haven't even tested this in VR, but I do want to get around to it at some point. I just haven't organised my play space yet for properly doing that with the microphone and the flight stick, and getting everything in a decent spot to do that. I also haven't got my Track IR set up right now, so that is also a bit of a problem. But yeah, even without Track IR, this will work fine for the flight that I'm planning to do, which is going to be a pretty short flight, and then we'll see what else we can do. We might try that iconic flight from Westray to Papa Westray, and which will also be a short time. But hey, it's part 0, you know. Let's play it cool and that kind of thing. So options are pretty much using graphics-wise 4K in the setup that the optimized settings are that Alex Battaglia has suggested on DF. And then where options? Let's go back to options for a second. So controls, I'm using my my T-Flight Hotas X. It's old. It's been around for quite a long time now. It's been a long time since I bought it in Argos, but it works. It works, and it's fine for now. Maybe one day I'll become so hooked on flight simulators that I'll go crazy and start like buying expensive cockpit style things to match my racing rig stuff, which even then is modest compared to a proper setup that I would like. But above casual, let's say. Probably definitely on the enthusiast end, but not the rich enthusiast, which would be nice to be one day. But alas, that is not the case. So, gonna go from Crossmaglen Airstrip, which is near me, and we're gonna head to Dublin to let's get this in. Right, we've got live weather conditions going, so I'm gonna play around with the weather conditions, maybe depending on how it looks, because it is getting dark now. Although this, Can I fly in the dark? I mean, I could always do another flight in daytime to pad this out a bit. But yeah, it's particularly interesting. Right, so flight conditions are working. I still have some issues with live weather not working all the time. It defaulted back to that clear stuff that was an issue for a long time pre-Christmas on a flight that I tried to do earlier on today. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, let's take the Dahir TBM 930. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but we'll go with Dahir. And we'll also have to have a look at the nav log. So our nav log will be about 3,800 feet. Gotta love the aviation industry still pretty much working in Imperial, which I'm gonna keep on even though I can't switch the metric if I wanted to. And yeah, we will try this out and see how it goes while we fly kinda down part of the east coast of Ireland from Crossmaglen to Dublin. Now, the performance is okay. Like, I'm not, like... For what I've set up, I've got it set up now that I have got good-looking stuff. And performance mostly goes from, like, between 40 to 50 in cloudy conditions. Maybe dropping in the mid-30s at specific conditions, especially if I'm, like, high in the clouds or, like, in between two banks of clouds, like, below and above and all that. So, you know, but it's fine for Flight Simulator, you know, like, I think degrading the visual quality for this game would be a step in the wrong direction, and we'll just make it better one day when I have a CPU and a GPU that will be able to get this working somewhat well. Wow, it is really getting dark now, huh? This will be somewhat of a nighttime landing then. Flight stick over. So one of my favorite things now is the ability to, like, just do all this, like, move all this around, you know. I love all these buttons. So many buttons. So, you know, I've learned what a couple of things do, kinda. I think this is how I turn off the battery, I think. I mean, it's how I've turned off the battery to end flights, but we will go through, like, a proper nav book thing, whatever, at some point to properly do that in the future as well, while we eventually learn how to fly. Somewhat learn how to fly. I mean, the clouds don't exactly look like this here, but I suppose I can't. Well, this is a good few miles over the road, so who the fuck knows at this point, right? Right, we've got our parking brakes on, and yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much ready for flight. We'll sort out one of these days now for starting at, like, the at a proper airport at for starting it up and trying to get things all in control. But this is just a basic flight to start us off for part 0. Right, let's reset the camera angle. And sure, why not? Let's go. Let's head off into the air. Yeah, I know the parking brake's engaged, right? Let's go! Let's make our venue trip to Dublin Airport. We will get a lot of stutter coming towards Dublin now. I have a lot of issues now with performance. Oh boy, are we going to clear these trees? Yeah, just about. Right, let's take the rudders up. That wasn't a bad start. That'll do, somewhat. Let's take down the engine. Lower the engine a bit. Take it down a bit further. So I do believe that is Dundalk to our left. Good old Dundalk. I spent way too much time there in my life. Let's try and keep it at 169 degrees, as close as we can to it. Somewhat stable, and okay, let's just drop throttle a bit more. Start to see some stars a bit, huh? Okay. Let's try and level it out now a bit. Like, I really don't know, like, the proper situation for, like, proper, especially for this plane, for, like, proper, technique for takeoff and landing and all that, but, I mean, look, we'll get there, I hope. And if not, it's not like I'm going to kill anyone. Not like I'm really ever going to fly a plane, so... Alright, what, bank a bit right. A little bit left off track, kinda. We did take our landing gear up, didn't we? Yeah, okay. So that should be the M1 to our left. We're dropping in altitude quite a bit now. Let's see if we can grease it up, lift our trim a bit. Back over to like 182 until we get somewhat back in line for our flight path. I'd really like to get to a situation now where I can like make the plane pretty stable and getting on the flight path properly, you know? But even just doing this has been like really enjoyable, you know? I've watched a few flights of a few streams of people that, you know, actually know what they're doing and can really just make this whole thing look extremely easy, and it is so impressive, and I'm very jealous of it quite a bit. Try and raise that trim a bit more. Okay, it shouldn't be too far from Dublin now, at least. It's a relatively short trip. Like, I should be able to make this in about 10 minutes or so, I think, or 12. But, you know, that's optimal journey round. Let's take it, bank it a bit left now to get back in line with the degrees that we need. I definitely feel like I'm making too many adjustments to engine stuff and all that, so... Coming up to Drogheda now on our left. Good old Drogheda. Veered too far left again, so back to our right. We can kind of start seeing the Dublin airport now, lights for the runway. Should be Laytown airstrip to our left now as well, beyond Drogheda. There we go, there's a lovely beautiful scenic view of Drogheda from above at night. Should be getting close now to getting the stutters from Dublin loading in. Doesn't Dublin just look so pretty from a distance? So pretty. So lovely and pretty. Should be, I think, Dublin up there. The kind of long-ish strip. I think Dublin Airport. Hey, if it's not, then who cares, you know, we'll just smash it in. Alright, just throw it on in there. No, that should be it. Okay. We can do this. I wish I could have tried this yesterday now with the wind being somewhat strongish. See how that went. I've never landed in the dark, so I'm somewhat scared. Don't know if we're just dropping too low too quickly now, or if we should be okay. Definitely might be coming up in the stutters now for the chunks of Dublin loading in. Like, Jesus, look how big the lights of Dublin look. Dear. Oh, okay, here we go. Is that another plane now coming in for a landing? Might have taken the flight a bit low now towards this descent part, but sure, it'll be grand. It'll be grand. Can't even see the lights now off the airport, so that's not good. Hey, but look. If we hit the trees, we hit the trees, right? .300 feet off the ground, so definitely need to change this up a bit. Oh yeah, we're gonna crash into the trees. Okay! Trees have crashed, it's all over. It's over, we're doomed. Failure 1 of the crash. That's what I get now for being in the dark. Yeah, I really did drop too low too quickly. Look! We got close though. We got really close. One day we will master that approach. It'll be mastered. Right. Okay, that's enough of nighttime flying now. It'll be mastered. Let's have a look at I've not looked at Dublin now to see if they've done any updates to it with this UK and Ireland update. I don't think they have done too many things to it, but I'm interested to have a look. Right, let's sure, let's set it as a departure and the arrival. Right. No, we want to depart from there, and we shall arrive back on the same runway, coming in the opposite way. Okay, I got XV Ross here, flying about. Sure, he made making a better job of this than I am. Okay, so turn off multiplayer so that we can do some custom weather. Do it daytime. Do it daytime, and we'll do. We'll do what clouds will we do? We'll do some scattered clouds. Sure, why not? So that's off. We'll keep live traffic on. And yeah, that should be that. So how do I get back out of here? Right. Sure, let's fly. Let's fly and have a look around. I remember, like, first trying to do anything at Dublin Airport, how things would run in, like, the 20s around it. So, at least there has been a decent performance improvement.
Dublin Tower Dollar Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha at runway 16 ready for takeoff, departing straight out. Dollar Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha cleared for takeoff, runway 16 straight out, departure approved.
Great. Love my departure being approved. Right, so yeah, that's Dublin Airport, I suppose. Right, well, we have our little weather set for what time did we set it as? Let's close that away. Yeah, we'll do it around 1 PM, sure, yeah, well, that'll do. 1 PM will do. Close that off. Right, so parking brake is engaged. Let's, you know, she's a nice plane and all that. She's a very nice plane. Alright, fuck it, let's go. Let's drop it in there. Take off that parking brake and get going. I don't want to get too high above the ground then. Let's try and level it out and keep it. Performance is definitely looking better now around Dublin than it used to be, because I know this used to chug along around here, so that's really great. Lighting has improved too, from what I can tell. Looks great, don't it? It really is impressive what Asobo have done with that, with all that world map data.
Doppler Golf Sierra Alpha, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved. Doppler Golf Sierra Alpha, did you hear my last transmission? Last transmission.
No, I'm not going to acknowledge anything. Rude.
Alpha, please acknowledge. Alpha ETC services terminated.
I mean, that looks pretty nice. Now, obviously, like, some of the textures are not great looking, but it still looks fine, right? Like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Like, from this angle, it all looks believable enough, you know? Should we just crash this thing then? Most likely. Most likely. Too speedy anyway, so.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Oh boy, this is not going to go well, is it? This is certainly a unique approach. Oh boy, pull up. Wrong way for the flaps, wrong way for the flaps. Ah, sure, we'll crash in at the end of the runway, right? Yeah, grand. There we go, bouncy. Bouncy. I mean, it's down. Right, yeah, great. Okay, great. It's something. I mean, I think I've only made one landing so far without any bouncing, so, you know, gotta get that angle right, smooth. One day we'll get it smooth. One day. Hi, friend! Got some good music going on in there. Nice, some Spotify stuff, yeah? Grand? No? Okay, great.
Aural warning, okay.
World class query. Alright, let's go and have a look at some other stuff. So, you know, the goal is just to get that smooth for landing. Get that smooth approach, get it the descents proper, and get those landings nice and soft and gentle. Gentle. Right, let's main menu then. I mean, it may not be the landing I wanted to get in, but I got in a landing, even if it wasn't for that flight from Cross. Alright, let's do some West Ray to Papa West Ray. Famously known as the shortest regularly scheduled commercial route in the world, the flight between the Orkney Islands of West Ray and Papa West Ray in the north of Scotland carries over 1.7 miles and takes an average of 2 minutes from takeoff to landing, or less than half the time with ideal wind conditions. Or less than half that time with ideal wind conditions. However, this brief jaunt is not short on remarkable scenery, from the shallow emerald green waters that separate these once joined land masses to archaeological sites in the area that date back as far as 3500 BC. For this iconic flight, we'll be piloting a Beechcraft Bonanza G36, the perfect utility aircraft for a quick trip in the timeless Northern Isles. Flight duration 10 minutes, flight length 2 nautic miles. Hop it. I've landed this a couple of times. The reason I got back into Flight Simulator actually is from doing this last week to do to try and get some quick achievements for the Microsoft Rewards program with the weekly stuff where you had to get 3 achievements to keep your streak going. So I was like, "Has Flight Simulator got any achievements?" And at the moment, and it did, because I could have sworn they didn't have achievements back whenever it released, but. Maybe they did and I just didn't see them, but yeah, so I hopped in to just do a couple of the really quick ones, like changing weather in flight and completing one task, one activity and all that, so yeah. Well, we're not going to do the air traffic control stuff and all that, we're just going to go straight for this flight. A small bit of the grass never hurt anyone. Tally ho! Oh boy, we've missed the runway by quite a bit in this bank. Oh boy, oh no. We can save it, alright, somewhat. We were a bit speedy, sure. Well, oh no. Well, let's go on a road trip into town, right? That'll do good. Bit too fast on that. But hey, it counts, right? Totally counts. Totally counts. Full time of like 57 seconds. So there we go. We beat that. We beat the projected time by a bit, unless we had the good wind, in which case we only beat it by a couple of seconds. But hey, clearly I took that approach too fast. Just a bit, just a tad. Alright, now where shall we have a look at on the world map? Actually, if I put live players on, how is it looking for players around the world right now? So that's Halifax Airport. Martha's Vineyard. Nantucket, we all love Nantucket. Good few flights around here. Newark. We got Kennedy. What are we going for Kennedy? Sure, we'll set that as a departure. Will we even try to land at Newark? It's not going to work, but I mean, let's just go for the flight around and have a look. I see I have started getting spam messages on PlayStation, so that's nice. Thanks a lot, PlayStation. Their spam filters and all that clearly are falling apart in their bot finders. Any that they may have had. I don't know whether to bother with setting up my track IR for this now, for like actually doing stuff, or just to use the VR thing and get things sorted in the play space for just doing VR all the time with this. Just awkward with the way the wires are now. I'd need to do like for some proper sorting of the wires just to get anywhere near something that I'd be interested in for comfort and ease. Seeing as like I've basically based it all around my racing rig for location of wires and everything, so things would need to be interchanged properly to be able to do some decent runs.
Tower, Dahar Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, ready at runway 13 left west departure. Dahar Alpha, Sierra, X-Ray Golf, Sierra Alpha, cleared for takeoff runway 13 left departure to the west approved.
a bit framey around here then, so to be expected, I guess. No, I didn't copy, sorry.
Dollar Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change. JetBlue 280 for descent and maintain 2,100 feet. Descend and maintain 2,100 feet, JetBlue 2884. JetBlue 280 for you are 5 miles northwest of Kennedy. Contact Kennedy Tower on 119 or decimal 11 inbound.
Somehow that was both a worse and better landing than the one I pulled off at Dublin Airport, so... Yeah, just getting the hang of that approach. Do well. That was a nice little fun trip around New York. Central Park really fucking destroyed that frame rate. Watched it go down into the low teens. I didn't want to... I wanted to keep an eye on that just to see how it went, especially so I can go back and have a look and see how the stream ended up. Seeing as this can be considered somewhat of a test to see how that worked out. But yeah, that was that was fun. That was a nice little fun trip. Flight Simulator is great. It's really fantastic, and it's well worth an attempt at something with it. For anyone, even if like you can't get it to run at a good frame, we can get it somewhat running okay-ish. Works fine. Controls fine. I love it. A lot. Right. I'm off. We will actually learn something next time. I hope. Gonna keep my practicing going.